Close your eyes and picture your earliest memory. Maybe it is a birthday, a kitchen, a face leaning over you. You can see it. You can almost feel it. It feels like yours. But what if it never happened to you at all? This is not a thought experiment. It is not philosophy. It is one of the most quietly disturbing findings in the science of human memory. And once you understand it, you will never think about your past the same way again. Your memory does not work the way you think it does. Most people assume memory is like a video file stored somewhere in the brain. You lived something. Your brain recorded it. When you want to remember, you press play. The footage rolls. You watch your own life back. That is not what happens. Not even close. Every time you remember something, your brain is not retrieving a file. It is reconstructing one. From scratch. Using fragments, assumptions, and information it has gathered since the original event. Your brain is not a camera. It is a screenwriter who has read a lot of secondhand accounts and is doing its best to fill in the gaps. This matters, because the gaps get filled with things that were never there. In the 1970s, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus began asking a question that made the scientific community deeply uncomfortable. She wanted to know how easy it was to implant a false memory into a normal, healthy human brain. The answer turned out to be terrifyingly easy. In one of her most famous studies, she showed participants footage of car accidents and then asked them to describe what they saw. But she changed one word in the question. For some participants, she asked how fast the cars were going when they hit each other. For others, she asked how fast they were going when they smashed into each other. That single word change, hit versus smashed, was enough to alter what people remembered seeing. Participants who heard the word smashed were significantly more likely to later report seeing broken glass in the footage. There was no broken glass. The word had created the memory. Think about what that means. A single word spoken after the event inserted a physical object into someone's visual memory of something they had watched with their own eyes. Now think about how many words have been spoken to you about your own past. Your earliest memories are the most vulnerable. Research by psychologist Mark Howe at Lancaster University has shown that children under the age of 3 have almost no ability to form long-term autobiographical memories. The hippocampus, the brain structure essential for encoding personal memories, is not sufficiently developed yet. And yet, if you ask most adults what their earliest memory is, they will describe something from age 2 or even 18 months. They will describe it with confidence, with sensory detail, with the quiet certainty of personal experience. Where did those memories come from? They came from other people, from stories told at the dinner table, from photographs, from older siblings and parents who said, "Do you remember when you..." And from that moment forward, your brain began building a scene. It borrowed the emotion from the telling. It borrowed the image from the photograph. It borrowed the detail from the story. And it assembled something that felt like memory. Because to your brain, it is memory. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a memory of something you experienced and a memory of something you were told about often enough. This is not a malfunction. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Human beings are the only animals that live inside a shared memory system. You inherit the memories of your parents through story. You inherit the memories of your culture through ritual and repetition. Your grandparents' grief, your community's pride, your family's shame, all of it gets woven into your autobiographical sense of self long before you have any way to verify whether any of it actually happened to you. This is what psychologists call memory conformity, and it is one of the most powerful forces shaping human identity. In a landmark series of studies, psychologist Henry Roediger and his colleagues at Washington University showed that when groups of people discuss a shared event, their individual memories of that event begin to converge. Not because they all agreed on what happened, but because memory is contagious. One person's confident recollection bleeds into another person's uncertainty, and suddenly both people remember the same thing, even if only one of them was there and the other was somewhere else entirely. This is why eyewitness testimony is one of the most unreliable forms of legal evidence. It is why two siblings can describe the same childhood vacation as if they lived completely different trips. It is why you can watch a family video of an event you believe you remember and discover that the memory in your head and the reality on the screen have almost nothing in common. But H,